This is the Rebel Scum Podcast. Available in video on YouTube and audio wherever you listen to your podcasts. Every week, Brock and James talk the latest rumors, news, and theories from a galaxy far, far away. Support us on Patreon for exclusive offers and join the Star Wars discussion. Patreon.com/RebelScumPodcast. Here are your hosts, Brock and James.
You are always scum. Rebel scum.
It was announced a couple weeks ago now, I guess, that there's a new Star Wars video game coming to the Nintendo Switch called Star Wars Hunters. I want to say it's Hunters. It looks like they were like, hey, people like Fortnite, let's do Star Wars Fortnite, which seems like a no-brainer. A Mandalorian is in Fortnite now, from what I can tell. I tried playing Fortnite once. I was like, sure, whatever, and then I went back to Dr. Mario because I'm old. But it's kind of cool. It's cool that they're doing this. It's free to use. I'm sure there's going to be millions of dollars spent on upgrades and different lightsaber hilts. But this takes place after the Return of the Jedi and before The Force Awakens, so you have a nice little gap there between 6 and 7. Brock, this is the Rebel Scum Podcast, episode 205. I'm James, that's Brock. Are you excited for this game for the Nintendo Switch, which you play frequently?
Sure. I don't feel like I've seen a ton on it, so it's hard to...
I think it comes out in September.
It's like... once the trailer comes out or something,
aside from that
footage of it.
Yeah.
So, once I see it, that might be exciting. And then it depends on how exciting it is compared to price. Because it's
it's free.
Oh, it's free. It's that one. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, then I'll definitely try it out.
Yeah, there's a bunch of games coming. Was it Delta Commandos coming out in April 6th? I believe we are a month away because it's March. The year is flying by. We're almost 1 year into quarantine, to lockdown, to our 2 weeks lockdown is now a year old. In a few days, we're like a week or two away from that. But it is the free one. I don't know too much about it either. I just thought we both have a Nintendo Switch. You are huge on the Switch. You love the independent games on the Nintendo Switch. I was wondering if this one tickled your fancy, seeing how it won't cost you a dime to log on. I mean, once you're on, who knows? But also it's Star Wars, and then that time period as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I've seen the stuff for this game, and I haven't even looked up it. So it's it's hard to make the call. Which one? What is it called again? It's
Hunters. I want to say Hunters. I didn't plan on talking about it off the top. I just kind of did.
Yeah.
We've only done this 205 times. Why would we need to prepare?
It's just again, I wasn't psyched automatically when it's Fallen Order and Squadrons. I guess Fallen Order was a little bit more exciting because they got that announced was during one of their events. Was it Force Friday or something like that? No, wait, no, it was before that because Force Friday they actually had toys from that. Yeah. They had Cameron Monaghan, the guy that plays Cal Kestis was on the thing. So it's like I said, it's when I see some stuff. Again, I haven't looked into it, so it's yeah, I'm too into Pokemon right now. Okay, I gotta catch them all.
Would you be down for live action Cal Kestis versus, or I guess reverse versus, Iden Versio versus Cal Kestis? Iden Versio searching for Cal, because she wouldn't have, spoiler alert for those that don't know the story, she wouldn't have turned at this point. She would have been probably too young. But whatever, we won't get into that. But would you be down for those two making their way into live action?
Cal Kestis and who?
Iden Versio.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
A lot of people are saying...
no-brainer.
I agree with you, but a lot of people are saying, now that they have to search for their new Cara Dune to come in and do it. And, this New Republic show is I'm guessing it's happening. Disney clearly wants it to happen because their streaming service depends on material, on content. People hate to use the word, I hate to use the word content for these things, but they want the material on that. And Rangers of the New Republic is one thing that they promised, and it's one thing that Favreau and Filoni were working on, presumably with Cara Dune in mind. But now Cara Dune is out of the picture. I saw we recorded this early, but I saw when we were recording this that Stupendous Wave was like, it's going to be Hera, and maybe it's beyond Stupendous Wave. I have no idea. I don't know where that information even came from. I didn't look at the video. I didn't read it. There was an article as well. I didn't read that either. So Hera's a thing. But the one that I see, it's kind of got a bit of a response, and that she would be down for it, is Iden Versio. And Iden Versio, I haven't played the storyline in Battlefront 2 for a while. No, I've played it. I haven't played it in a while.
Played it. Okay.
But there's a gap in time. I believe, if I remember correctly, there was a gap in time, and this could be filling in that time because she leaves the Empire right after the Battle of Jakku.
Yeah, like that battle, sort of like her undoing, or she like flips. Doesn't she flip
Yeah,
midway?
I think it's that battle. So I mean, this potentially could lead into it. And then the one thing is, remember they had a daughter, like, oh, their daughter's Rey. Remember all that?
Yeah,
nonsense. But now they have a chance to show you more of the, not the daughter necessarily, but I mean, you can lead into the daughter and then maybe create a story with the daughter as well. Because the thing with Star Wars is, I know everyone's like, you shrink the world, but you have to shrink the galaxy in some respect. Otherwise, it just becomes, what the hell am I looking? Why? You have to personalize it. Otherwise, why do you care? If it's not personal, you don't care. And you already have these characters that mean something to some people. And we saw it with Ahsoka, with Bo-Katan, where you could take the characters now, throw them into something that will appeal to more people. And all of a sudden, you and I care. And then other people, the casual fans, begin to care about them as well. So you have pre-existing characters that you can bring and build in that I think they have a perfect opportunity to do that right now if they are looking to replace a character that fell off a cliff or something in between seasons. I don't know what happened. She fell off the blurg. It was pretty bad.
yeah.
What if they just randomly are like, oh, Quill's here. Remember when Cara Dune took care of Grogu and died? What? Yeah. No, it wasn't Quill. It was Cara Dune.
It's a Star Wars Mandela effect.
Yeah.
It's like, no, she's been dead the whole
and they
time.
they go back and like season 1, you're like, oh my gosh, they just flipped the characters. And season 2's you're like, what's going on here?
Like if there wasn't for like pirating like shows and movies, they could they could possibly make that happen, because it's not like you can buy The Mandalorian on DVD or Blu-ray.
Yeah,
I don't even think you can download it you just have to have Disney Plus. So it's like if people weren't pirating stuff like that, which they have, it's like they could just erase things.
Well, they did that with Gene's guy from the Grief Carl Weathers episode, right? They got rid of him quick, which begs the question: how did he make do you think they're editing the episode and the editor or somebody's like, well, there's Gene's guy, there's Kirk from sound, Kirk is there, and then everyone is like, no one will notice. Everyone notices everything.
Yeah.
Not
you
me,
know what? After seeing that, I played it back and I could not see him.
Oh, they got rid of him.
No, right when it happened.
Oh, okay.
I could never see it outside of the pictures that they would put on the internet. So it's sometimes I'm like, how are you catching it? Also, I watch The Mandalorian on my phone, so
yeah, and people also, because everyone has a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
They go frame by frame every episode, and they spend a good 12 hours doing it. And the good news for them is they start at 3 a.m. Whereas I don't. Do you like these shows dropping at 3 in the morning Eastern time? Are you down with that? Are you okay with the 3 a.m. drops now?
3 a.m. They're always 3 a.m. Were they not?
Yeah, because it's 3 a.m. here. And then the West Coast is 12. So I guess because I guess WandaVision is causing a bit of a ruckus, Brock. A bit of a ruckus because CNN did an article on how these things drop at 3 a.m. and people are upset by this 3 a.m. drop. And I'm of a couple of minds. One mind, I'm like, I totally get it. It's 3 a.m. It's midnight on the West Coast. The thing that is redonkulous and like in the worst thing ever is the amount of spoilers that appear within seconds of the show airing. It's like literally the show drops, whether it's WandaVision or Mandalorian, I'm sure the Falcon show, and then I'm sure the Loki show, and then I'm sure all the other ones. Like the minute they drop, it's, they're like, well, here are all your spoilers for it. And everybody's tweeting everything. There's one episode of WandaVision. I can't remember what it was. I didn't watch it. And I went on, and I like to watch some like documentaries and stuff when I'm on the treadmill during the day. And I put something on, and there was a YouTube thumbnail next to what I was watching that had nothing to do with what I was watching, but it was WandaVision. It was a screenshot from the episode that aired like 3 hours before I'm on the treadmill doing this. And to me, that's a little bit ridiculous. But the issue is on the East Coast, it's 3 a.m. And, you got to be a diehard fan to stay up till 3 a.m. And then if you watch it at 6 or 7, it's already been on for 3-4 hours by then. But on the West Coast, it's midnight. It's realistic to stay up to midnight to watch something, especially a season finale like the WandaVision one. People are going to stay up till 3 a.m. on the East Coast, but on the West Coast, for sure, midnight's nothing. And so the discrepancy is, one is, very feasible and the other one is ridiculous. I mean, we're all working from home, so they're all, whatever. But, I think the one thing that hasn't been taken into consideration is just how inconsiderate Twitter users, social media, they should just ban it all on social media. I'm done. I'm looking at you.
It's tricky, right? Like it's
it makes complete sense why they do it, but it's also
I found like I've watched WandaVision later in the day, and nothing's been ruined for me. Though I sent you like a couple. I sent you like an ad for like Disney Plus, I believe.
Yeah, their rule is Monday.
Later.
Monday.
I don't care what their rule is. Like. But
they did that for Mandalorian too, though.
That's an internet rule. Like it just like
no, that's the Disney rule. That's the Disney Plus rule. They won't do anything till the Monday.
It's still a stupid rule though, because it's like they did this like Crave, which is a streaming service in Canada, did this with the Watchmen show, where like they have like a slideshow of pictures from the show, so you're like, oh, that's cool. The first picture, and spoilers for anyone that hasn't watched Watchmen the show.
I haven't seen it.
Dr. Manhattan's in it. It's not a huge surprise. But the picture of Dr. Manhattan is the first one, and he's not revealed till midway through the series. So it's just like, what? And that's a big... It's literally the Luke Skywalker reveal in that show. So it's just like, they did that where they played the Agatha... It was Agatha all along video, and then I'm like...
Well, what
are you doing?
No, it makes sense though, because they drop on Friday and they want you to watch it Friday, Saturdays. They want you to watch it right away. They don't want you to wait until the series is over and then watch it all at once. They want you to watch it every single week, because that means they have you every single week.
I understand how ads work, but like you literally ruin the ending of one of the episodes.
But they're saying, well, if you haven't watched it by now, you're late. It's 20 minutes.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it does, because they want to force you to watch it.
You market it in some better way. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, that is...
Hey, it can be ridiculous, but it's working. Their subscriber base is...
I'm like, dude, the fuck?
Yeah, you're like that, but their subscriber base is blowing up. They're going to beat Netflix in like a year. They're definitely doing something right on the marketing.
Everybody's talking about the Mandalorian and WandaVision.
Exactly, and the WandaVision ads are working because everybody was obsessed with its Agatha all along.
Ads because people are watching it.
But the Agatha all along ad, by the way, spoiler alert. By the way, god awful reveal of her name last week. Anyway, oh god, that show. I feel like there's potential, and then there's WandaVision. And I'm like, you can hit it. And anyway, but no, that's their thing, is they wait till Monday. They've made it clear on their social media that it's Monday is the day that you could do all the spoiler talk that you want. However, people are like 3:03 a.m. Eastern time. Yeah. I'm gonna ruin the ending because I don't know how they watch it that fast. But people, I don't know. It just Like I said, WandaVision hasn't been too spoiled. I don't think there's been much that it could be spoiled in WandaVision. Like, they pretty much spoiled everything anyway with the casting announcements. So, like, nothing could be spoiled. But the thumbnail on YouTube blew my mind that you would, like, oh, God, like, you need views that badly that you're going to post. I can't remember what it was. It might not have been that big. But it seemed like, without seeing the episode, it looked like it was going to be something massive, right? And, anyway, look, but Mandalorian did the same thing. Mandalorian, every Monday they put the one sheet poster and it'd be Ahsoka or whatever, and so they ruined all those as well. Which is, I mean, Ahsoka is as much ruining it as Agatha all along. Really, did anyone not know that she was? Is she behind anything? I can't figure it out. She's like, it's me the whole time, and then she's like, it's actually, I have no idea what's going on. You're like, what? I was confused. Was it Agatha all along, or was it Agatha not all along, but she wanted her to think that it was her all along?
See, that's the thing. That's the beauty of this show. It's like, you really don't know who the bad person is right now. Like, after the last episode, you're like, oh, okay, so Wanda's somewhat in control. But then, like, as much as Agatha is enticing things, she's not the main instigator. She's not the antagonist. But then you're like, is the dude from Sword who's like evil one episode, then not evil the next? It's like, what's going on? And that's the beauty of the show. And I think that's like across the board what they're doing with it. Everybody is like, what? Question mark? So, like, the last episode is this week, right?
I hope so.
Because I believe that's the last episode.
Because then it gives a week between.
No, there's that behind the scenes WandaVision thing is supposed to be next week apparently, and then
which I'm more looking forward
Winter
to.
Soldier.
Yeah, I mean it's good because you need a gap between these shows. Like I'm watching Brock. I'm watching 3 TV shows right now, and I am like,
oh wow,
I know, and 2 of them are. Am I watching 3 or am I watching 2? How many am I watching? I don't know, but 2 of them are 20 minutes to 30 minutes long, and it is fantastic. And but I'm still like, but it was funny because one of the shows that I'm watching, I missed the first season, I think, so it had to be like binge watched, and I couldn't do it. I was like, no. And I would come in like when Aaron's watching it, I'd like watch like half an episode and then leave. But now that it's once a week, I'm like, okay, I'm in for the week. Let's go. And I'll watch like, I think that one's 50 to 60 minutes, or whatever. But I'll watch it. And then I'm like, that's satisfying. I don't need to watch it again for a week, and I'm good. I'm loving the weekly. I can't binge. I'm an old man, and I'm just not a binger. I'm not. Look. It takes me like 4 days to watch a movie at home, unless it's brand new. But I watched some bad movies. Oh my god, so bad. I went back and I watched the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War of the Planet of the Apes to cleanse my palate.
You watched it on Star.
No. Dawn, I watched on Crave before Star, and then Aaron had never seen Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and so we watched it, and she goes, "Oh my god, that's so good! Is there another one?" I go, "Why, yes, there is." And then we're going to put it on Crave. I don't know if it's on Crave or not. And I said, "Wait, it's now on Disney. We're paying for Disney. Let's do it." So I put it on Star. Star is awesome. Yeah. The movie is now like Disney Plus. The addition of Star in, I think, Canada and the UK. I don't think it's not an American thing. I don't think, but that like changed the game because Aaron's been dying to watch The Gods Must Be Crazy. She's been dying to watch The Gods Must Be Crazy. And it is not anywhere. I think there's like a super duper low res version of it on YouTube, but it's unwatchable. It looks like you right now on my screen, like just pixels on top of pixels. But so she's been dying to watch it. And then she goes, "Oh, does it have The Gods Must Be Crazy?" And I said, "Dude, Gods Must Be Crazy." And it popped up and she's like, "You keep subscribing to this channel."
Yeah, no, it's funny. I was having the same conversation with a coworker about Star, and him and his I was gonna say wife, but they're not married. His partner, they had the same experience where it's like they've been looking for Dead Poets Society. Yes. Apparently, it's on there. I'm like, oh, yeah, it is. I'm like, so shout outs to Greg Schuyler over at Encore AV. I watched
Gone in 60 Seconds this
Yes.
week. And it was
That's right.
delightful.
Right? Nicolas Cage?
There's a problematic point. Let's go. That's right.
That's right.
There's a problematic moment where they use the F word as in a bad word for someone who's gay. Like, and I was like, wow, what a time to be alive.
20 years ago.
But otherwise, it still holds up.
Did it give a
it's just
warning?
like it is. It's that's a good question.
Isn't Angelina Jolie's in that for I think 90 seconds, right? Or she is the 60 seconds.
No, she's the main character. She's a romantic.
No, she's not in that much though, is she? I remember her only being in it like briefly.
Oh yeah, no, she's a main character.
Yeah, but I thought she just like showed up, did her thing, and left.
No.
I saw it in the theater. I saw it in the theater, and that was the only time I've ever seen that movie.
It's a beautiful time capsule of a time when Nick Cage wasn't exactly crazy
but on his
yet,
way.
and Angelina Jolie wasn't who she is now. Like it's just you're like looking at her. I'm like, she's probably either freshly divorced from Billy Bob Thornton or still married to him.
I think that was like the year she won the Oscar. Like that came out that year, the year after, or something.
No, this is way before.
No way. That's like what 99, 2000.
She won the Oscar for The Changeling, right?
No, The Girl Interrupted.
Oh yes. Sorry, I forgot about that one.
Hold on. Girl Interrupted.
It's that era. You are right.
Not Girl Interrupted is 1999.
Yeah. And then
and 2000. So it was like, I think it was the year she won the Oscar. It came out, yeah. Because it was like that movie where it's like she's up and coming, and then you're like, oh, you did that movie. It's like Halle Berry wins an Oscar. She's like, you did Catwoman? Okay, great.
Yeah. No, I forgot that she was in. Did she win an Oscar for that?
Girl Interrupted?
Or did she get nominated?
That was the one she won for, yeah.
Right, because like that's like she's been sort of like notorious for almost getting nominated for nothing after that. I think The Changeling was like a big deal when she got nominated.
Well, I mean, she just got in 60 seconds and Maleficent.
Yeah, it's just like it's a wild career.
I love that you're like, Disney has Star. I can watch all of these movies, and you're like, I gotta go with Nicolas Cage and Cars.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie.
I could have watched anything, but like it's important that you understand that my first watch on Star was Gone in 60 Seconds. Yeah.
I honestly, I have scrolled through it because the last time I saw it was in the theater, and I remember very much enjoying it in the movie theater. I worked at Walmart that year, and Walmart closes. I mean, now it's 24 hours a lot of places, but it used to close at like 11, so you'd be out of there at like 11:30 at night on a Friday. And everybody that closed was like my age. We were all like 18 years old, 19 years old. So we 11:30 would hit. Yeah. We'd all punch out. We'd get in cars and we would drive to the theater and we'd watch whatever the midnight show was showing that night. And I remember Gone in 60 Seconds. We're like, well, we have to do it. And we just sat there like a bunch of fools, loving every second of Nicolas Cage's Let's Ride. Fantastic. Yeah, but Star is great. Star is phenomenal. I started watching. You recommend this show. You say it all the time. So I started watching the Titans.
Oh yeah.
I am halfway through the first episode. I wasn't expecting the blood. The swearing I knew about, but the blood I was like, wow, there's more blood.
Yeah.
It's not gory, but there's blood. It's like, oh my God. It's like they shoot someone in the head, and it's like Joker level. Not quite quality because the budgets are different, but like, I mean, it's the same thing. It's like, oh, that's in the head and they don't cut away, which is, it's scary. But it got me thinking, we've talked about this so many times, but now that I'm seeing it with like Robin, do you ever see a day where Star Wars ventures into like swearing, maybe not F words and stuff like that because it's a galaxy far, far away and their languages are different, but something to that effect, and maybe some blood spilled as well?
I don't know. It's like,
I like that answer.
It's sort of like I was looking like a thing with Kevin Scott, and it was like
he was talking about how like his High Republic book is sort of like horror, and still haven't finished. And it kind of is. It is spooky. They're on a spooky space station. So like stuff like that can happen, but it's not really. I don't know. It's just cursing in Star Wars. I feel like would be something similar to Battlestar Galactica, where they come up with their own curse words.
Which they have done. They say, "Oh, what's that? Pow says it in Rogue One. Carabas."
Oh yeah. So yeah, like that, yeah. But then like blood, I don't know. Yeah, it's like I don't see it. Like I'm not against it, but it doesn't really like the games are kind of hyper violent, but there's really no bloodshed.
People got mad with Fallen Order because there was no dismembering of body parts in it, and I was like, I never thought of that.
Yeah, me neither.
The only time I've thought about that in the modern era was in The Last Jedi, and not right away. It was like after. I'm like, oh man, imagine if Rey cut off Kylo's hand when he reaches out, and it's not even like a real genuine thought. It's just like imagine, like like spitballing. Not that I expected it or wanted it to or anything. But I'm with you on no. I think, because people are like, we need an R-rated Star Wars. Do we? Because at what point, and we've said this before, does it cease to be Star Wars any longer? And it becomes, a Quentin Tarantino movie or a John Carpenter movie. Like, Star Wars is Star Wars. It's not something else. It can, elements of other things can be woven in and out of it, but it is Star Wars, and Star Wars is what it is. And I think the most amount of blood we've ever seen is Darth Maul's little when he gets sliced in half. There's that little of blood that pops up from him. I'm pretty sure aside from that, we haven't really seen any. I think Rey has a cut in one of the movies and just dry blood. But she's a Mary Sue, so that was probably like cornstarch or something. but like, I think she has but she has, I think, some dry blood on her. But we don't really see. Oh, and Finn, of course, the hand on Finn's Stormtrooper helmet has blood as well. But for the most part, no blood, especially not using any gore or to make it scary. And like I said, I wasn't sure about you've been championing the Titan show for a while.
Yeah,
and I wasn't really sure because I knew the swearing, which wasn't turning me off. I knew it was, but it's weird, and I don't know if maybe just the trajectory of the DC stuff that I've been watching, because I haven't watched the Arrowverse really, but like it didn't throw me off. Like not that it's gory blood, but there's blood. You know what I mean? Like. He scrapes the guy's head against a brick wall and then leaves a trail. It's like, oh my God. The realism, I guess you could say. And I actually appreciated it for that. But again, that is in Detroit, Michigan. Star Wars is in Mos Eisley Cantina. One is real, one is Detroit.
Most of it's in Toronto, actually.
Yes, that's true. My parents send me set pictures all the time now.
Yeah. Like the last episode is like just blatantly Toronto, and it's supposed to be Gotham. It's awesome.
That's like in Shazam. You're a big Shazam fan too. In that movie, there's all of a sudden there's one part I'm like, well, there's my parents' condo.
Yeah,
exactly. It doesn't take me out. I guess it doesn't take me out, but it takes me out in a different way where you're like, oh yeah, look at that. That's I've walked there. My dog has pooed right there. And
yeah, there are times where I see stuff and I'm like, that looks like Aaron Mills Town Center, which is a mall in Mississauga here.
And everyone watching and listening right now knows that mall without knowing that mall.
Oh, we stopped talking about Star Wars like 20 minutes ago. If they're still listening, I am impressed. We haven't even said like it's the podcast yet.
Yeah, we did. I said it off the top.
Ugh.
I did. I slid it in while introducing you and getting you to talk about whatever we talked about off the top. Yeah. Ray Park, haven't seen anything from him in a while. He showed some old pictures from Phantom Menace. You know, he was. I think he was just having fun. And God, like I said, God bless him, because Star Wars is Star Wars. You know, I think we kind of. we get mad at it, we piss at it, we do YouTube videos where we go, Kathleen Kennedy should be fired, which, by the way, she was just fired. Brie Larson, like everyone gets very passionate about Star Wars, and I think we all need to take a step back and then another step back and remember that it's just pictures on celluloid or digital now. And we're just looking at something that was made to distract you from the BS around you, and maybe don't take everything about it so seriously. That's what I gotta say about that.
So yeah, it's a slow. I gotta say, it is a slow Star Wars news day.
Yeah.
Or news week.
Yeah, which I'm okay with because it's gonna get really busy, Brock.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like, what's next? Bad Batch, I guess.
Bad Batch May 4th. I'm sure you're gonna mention that on the news.
Nope, I didn't know that.
Bad Batch is coming out May 4th. It became official, I think. Huh?
When did that get announced?
Last week.
Okay.
Tuesday, I think. Yeah, so Bad Batch is May 4th. Today, we're recording this early, they released photographs of Fennec Shand in the Bad Batch. So we got to see what she looked at with her mask on. So that's all out there.
Wouldn't it be funny if they animated her to look like Mulan, who Ming-Na also voiced and is actually owned by the same company that owns Star Wars?
Yes. She does not look anything like her, but yeah, that would be impressive. That was a great movie. I really like that movie. Is that the song from it by Christina Aguilera, Reflections? Is that the song?
Yeah.
Great music video. They used to show that music video on Family Channel like after every single show. You just change the channel. And the Family Channel, does that still exist?
It does in some variety. I think, like, isn't it like ABC Star replaced Family
Spark or something? Yeah, okay. I don't know. I
it exists in some format.
I have all of these channels and I cannot find. I don't like. Not that I'm like I can't find anything good to watch. I cannot find a channel. It's like you'd be like put on this channel. I'm like I don't know what that is, and it will take me 6 hours to find it, and then so I don't know. But Family Channel used to be a thing. Way back, and that was like our Disney Channel, so it would make sense if it was ABC Spark. But now we have Disney XD and whatever. There's so many things going on. I'm really excited. No news. I thought by now, to be honest, maybe maybe May 4th we'll get it, but they don't want to take over Bad Batch. Maybe we'll get close to that. The writer for Rogue Squadron, I was thinking maybe that might be announced by now, but everything's been dead quiet on that front. Again, though, with the way Wonder Woman 2 has been received by critics and some fans alike, the negative reviews, I think maybe that's something that you do want to keep a little bit quiet now, let the dust settle on Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 2, and then you pick up and you have her do it soon. I'm curious. Well, actually, I'm guessing Rogue Squadron is going to come before Wonder Woman 3 because Gal Gadot, I think she announced that she's pregnant. So Wonder Woman 3 won't be happening anytime soon. So Rogue Squadron, I'm looking at you. Pick up the slack. Let's go.
I'm just thinking like they could still shoot it and she could be pregnant. They just do it like on sitcoms where you just don't shoot anything below it.
She's always holding a purse. She's always holding
like Elaine on Seinfeld.
Yes. What is she holding? Is that a... Yeah, that's... Well, actually, with CG, you could do whatever you want. You could just put her face on her stunt double's body, and now the movie's done. Chris Pine, is he coming to play Porkin's son? I'm not getting an answer from you. Is that a yes?
Sure. I don't. You know what? It would be cool if they did something. We could put Porkins in. We could put Porkins in Cassian Andor, or the Andor show. That would be sweet. He's slightly plump. He's not exactly slob yet, or no slam against the guy who played him. But
are they afraid to recast actors like that?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't either, but they seem to try so hard to get the original actors and everything, and digitally put their face. That would they even bother doing that? They'd be like, nah, no, Porkins as a one-off, we're good. Because Wedge could show up, but it would be a different actor playing Wedge unless they de-age him. But then all of a sudden your price is just, I don't know if they want to spend that kind of money on de-aging for Cassian Andor. It looks like they're going to spend it on a lot of other things. Remember when this show was supposed to be like a spy show like James Bond? What is this show and when is it coming out is what I want to know.
Yeah. Like, I could see there being spy espionage and what have you, but it's just like I don't know if I would call it a spy thing, because it's just like the rebellion is gritty and like it feels like it's like flying on a shoestring budget. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like they're more like sleeper cells, if anything, right? Like where like you don't really. I guess that's kind of like a network of espionage in a sense, but like. When I hear spy, I guess I think automatically like James Bond or something. Mm-hmm. It's a well-oiled machine and refined. It's like when I think rebellion, I'm like, oh, we're in the trenches and we could die any moment.
Well, don't forget Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ewan McGregor said in Revenge of the Sith he was on a mission, kind of like James Bond. Was that Sith or was that Attack of the Clones? He said that.
What part was this?
This is what he said. He said Obi-Wan Kenobi, it might be Attack of the Clones. He said Obi-Wan Kenobi is on a mission and he kind of gets to be like James Bond in space. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said way back 20 years ago when those movies came out. Can't believe it's been that long. And they were received so perfectly also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nobody hated the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
Not one person.
Are you mad about this, James?
I just think they're flawless, and it was nice that they're recognized as flawless pieces of art. Unlike the sequels, which are atrocious. I wonder if I wonder. I'm just joking. I know, but like George, I want to go to that the multiverse of the alternate universe where George Lucas makes the sequel trilogy and everyone hates it beyond all reason. And then there's like a petition, get JJ and Rian Johnson to make these movies. That's where I want to go to. I want to get that petition to go. Whatever. It is what it is. Actually, I had a question for you from watching Dawn of the Planet of the Apes on Crave, not Star, but maybe I'll watch it on Star so that they think that I did. I was like, because I'm watching it, and Aaron's never seen it, like I said, and I'm just like, this is one of those sequels that is just, like, it doesn't happen. It's like once in a blue moon, like the sequel that, the first one's really good, but this one kind of surpasses it, and it brings, it expands the mythology. There's so much about it that's great. The story is, from beginning to end, amazing. And I was thinking of other movies. You could argue Aliens in a lot of ways, and Aliens to Alien, I kind of like, because Alien, they're so different though, right? Like they're not even like the same. Like one is an action movie, the other one's a horror movie. Like, but it's still like Aliens, like it like expanded on everything again. And I was thinking about, and I wanted to hear your thoughts on. Do you feel that way about, say, like The Last Jedi? Where, because all these cases are, and I mean, The Last Jedi is a little bit different because Rian Johnson was hired before the Force Awakens came out. But is this, like, would you put it with those other two where you have a new director coming in, expanding it with his or her own take on it, and in some ways surpassing what came before?
Sorry, ask that question again.
So those other two movies, they come in, it's a different director. They put their own spin on it, and in a lot of ways surpass what came before. And I'm not saying Rise of the Planet of the Apes or Alien are weaker films than the sequels, but a lot of people would argue that they are, right? So that, like, would you put The Last Jedi in that category? It's hard because it's Star Wars.
I think so. Because, in my opinion, Last Jedi was the first attempt to actually push Star Wars in a new direction. And unfortunately, you can't do that in one movie, at least in the sense of a trilogy. It was trying to do what Favreau and Filoni have accomplished with Mandalorian, in my opinion, because it's like there's nothing to back it up, but I think there was things being put in motion. I've said this a million times before, like Last Jedi, Rian Johnson was trying to do something. And no slam against Force Awakens. That's a good movie too, but it's like everything with J.J. Abrams. It's a love letter to the original piece. But I feel like Rian Johnson was actually trying to make something different in Star Wars, or just like change the status quo. And I think Favreau and Filoni did it slightly better, but also it's not fair to compare because they had more time to spread it out. Mm-hmm. Like they basically made a Star Wars movie with almost no Jedi. Well, that's but you know what I mean. Like it's just like is there a lightsaber in the first season?
Yeah, the dark saber comes at the very end.
Sorry, the dark saber. But like they were able to like still hit all the Star Wars things without it being just a typical like Jedi against Jedi. Like there was more to it than that, and it's like, and it was also like. It doesn't have to. You don't have to be constantly. It's like there should be like a Bechdel test for Star Wars, where it's like, can you do a movie where you don't refer to like the Force immediately, or can have a conversation that isn't about the Force, or Luke Skywalker, or Darth Vader? You know what I mean? And this succeeds. So it's like, call it the what would it be? What's I don't want to say the Mando test, but like, what's a stupid name in there? I don't know. Whatever. I'll think about it. But it's like. So, like, I think I would stack Last Jedi amongst that of The Mandalorian because it's just like we don't need people to make Star Wars movie or Star Wars stories or movies or TV shows. We have plenty of that. We've had plenty of that for 20, 30 years with expanding universe. That's not the issue. Like, the issue is like, this was what George did. Now what happens? If George isn't making it, are we just going to copy what he did? Or are we going to move forward and try something new? And, lo and behold, the second you cut out the original cast from your project, all of a sudden you're like, The Mandalorian is a feasible attempt at trying something new in Star Wars, but it still feels like Star Wars. So like, relating back to your question, it's like, yes, I think I would stack Last Jedi in amongst those like sequels that are technically better than the first, but like the sequels are just a terrible they're a terrible example or reference because it's just like, do I think which is the second Rise of the Planet of the Apes? Dawn is it Rise, Dawn, and Lore?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why. I feel like Dawn should be first, right?
Yeah, but they made Rise first. So.
Yeah. So Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And what was the other one you said?
Aliens.
Aliens. And then like Dark Knight. Those all are bang, bang, bang.
But Dark Knight is the same director as Batman Begins. That's why I leave it out, and that's why Godfather 2 is out. So I'm going like different voice coming in.
Point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yes, but like it's not. It doesn't stack up. It doesn't have the same audience appreciation numbers, in my opinion, to be like that. So I don't know.
Fair. But it's also, but I think to that point, and that's because it is not number 2. Well, not only, but largely it's because it's not number 2. It's number 8, right? It is number 2, but it's also number 8, and so the people that see it as number 8 have a lot tougher time. Not all of them, but I'm just whatever. Let's go to the odds. No, it was just something that popped. It was just something that popped into my head while I was watching Dawn of Planet of the Apes. All right,
but it's just like that's the problem. Like I can't answer that. I can't give you a yes or no. I can't give a definitive answer because like the second I say it's all, you hear a million fanboys crying out in anger. and then were suddenly silenced because I muted them on YouTube.
I don't know if you know. I just ignored that entire thing. All right, never tell me the odds.
Sir, the possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
Never Tell Me the Odds, brought to you and me and everyone on this planet by Patreon.com. If you like what we do, why don't you saunter on down to Patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast and support us. We would greatly appreciate it. Just like we appreciate the following people: Heidi Fetter, executive producer; Barry Brophy, Dennis Allen, Randy Kenobi, Mary Kristen Aton, Jeff Wilson, Phil Stanifor, Sooner Thrawn, Scott D, Josh Price, Matt W,
Rez, Frank Perkins, Neil Lowry, D. Raven Spencer, Cosmic Girl 02, Gleek Play 1, Disney, Desi, Charlotte, Kayla Davis, Aaron Quinton, Jericho Kane, Girls with Sabers, and the Den of Nerds. The Den of Nerds. So thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thank
Your
you.
support means a lot.
You're the
to us.
best.
And everybody listening and watching right now, thank you as well. It's awesome that you're joining us for this conversation about Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and aliens.
I was just thinking of like the list of people that support us on Patreon. If we got to 60, could we force Andrew to say all our Patreons in 60 seconds? Patreon in 60 seconds. Starring Nick Cage.
I want to get him to do something even harder next time. Just something ridiculous. Oh, and Patrons he did a Goodwill's Hunting on characters from the High Republic. That's a Patreon exclusive, so you can check that out. Patreon right now. All right, ready for the odds?
Yeah.
The first never tell me the odds. Thrawn and Moff Gideon will meet.
This is awesome. I'm gonna go 80%. If
nice.
Thrawn is truly in Ahsoka and Moff Gideon stays as the villain in Mandalorian, it'd be stupid not to. It would be honestly stupid.
I was so happy he didn't die at the end of that season. Spoiler.
Yeah.
I feel like with Moff Gideon and Thrawn in Rebels are two characters that had more potential that they've lived up to so far. So I'm very excited to see. I want to go high. I'm going to go 77% because I want to see it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, they're two characters that have not lived up to their full potential, and you could argue Thrawn did in the Legends novels, which is fair, but in new canon, in the story that he exists in right now, I don't think he has, and I don't think Moff Gideon has either. And they're both cut from the same cloth, so I'm very excited about that. So Favreau, Filoni, you're listening. I know you are. Do it.
They're both villains that just talk
Yes.
and don't do a ton. Like
Perfect for
they
television.
do a few things, but they just talk.
Perfect for television and novels, though, because you can't watch a fight scene, and they won't cost too much. Okay, the next odd: will Finn return to live action in the next 5 years? John Boyega just won a Golden Globe Award, probably on the news. Will he get his live action return, and will there be hashtag justice for Finn? I don't know if that's real or not, but I just made that up.
I think it'd be great, especially with like how he kind of left the franchise. But like, I don't know. It's like, what are we concerned about? Are we concerned about growing in Star Wars? Are we concerned about like mending fences in reality? Because they're both important, but you know what I mean? Like it's just a movie, you know?
Yes, but his character... So I'll say I was always for Finn not being Force sensitive because Han Solo's not I didn't need that. But they gave it to him and they made him Force sensitive. And now you have that, and there's potential now within Finn to explore that. We can see that exploration within him, and his character can grow, and it could lead us into new unique stories in Star Wars. And he could even do what Mandalorian did. The Finn character, we start with the Finn character. I'm going to learn the ways of the Force. And then that he can meet people, and that could branch off into even more Disney stuff or Star Wars stuff on Disney Plus. Theoretically, I'm just spitballing that out there.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Because I think he is a character that what you just said about John Boyega himself is true, and you can mend that. But also, because they added that, there's a whole avenue to explore now.
Sure. For sure. It's like, if he wants to come back and they want to offer him something, then great. You know what I mean? So he's in some like new podcast, like it's like a radio play thing that I heard the trailer for. I cannot remember what it's called, but it sounds awesome and I really want to check it out. So if I do find it, I will report back. Because it's just like he's a really good actor and he's like almost in nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, I think J.J. Abrams might have something in mind for him.
Yeah, so
just saying. Did you give a percentage on that?
I don't think so. I'm gonna go 75%.
I'm going 63.978214768.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm gonna, because whatever. I'll watch more Boy. Like you say, he's a great actor, and he could use it. Final odd for the day: will Obi-Wan Kenobi feature more than 3 flashbacks to live-action Clone Wars? Will we see Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor donning the apparel they wear in the animated Clone Wars series at least 3 times in the show? And don't forget, there's only going to be 4 to 6 episodes, so 3 is 3 is higher than it seems.
It makes the most sense if you've cast Hayden Christensen. You kind of want to see his face, or the whole him being there. You kind of have to see his face.
It would kind of be awesome if you did it. How much
can you actually do with Vader with no mask on, right? I mean, it would be cool. They should all definitely do something, but yeah, no, I'm gonna go 90% because that would be sick. A live action Rex too. Oh my god, that'd be awesome. And Ahsoka, but she's young.
Oh man,
Ashley Ecclestein in the thing, but she's sort of like off screen a little bit, so you don't really get a good look at her. Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, brilliant. I'm going. Did you give a percentage?
90%, I think.
I'm going full Brock. Only because it's 3. I think we're gonna see it. It's just it's 3 times is a lot. All right, that's a Never Done with the Odds. Thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. You can join us on Patreon at patreon.com/RebelScum Podcast. You ready for the news?
Let's do it. I guess I should open
news. It. That was a tape when you run out of batteries on the tape. All the kids listening are like, what's a tape?
What's a tape?
All right, the news. My mic is off.
Holo news, the news you need to know right now. Hey, do you need a new backpack? Well, guess what? Herschel Bags, Canada's own Herschel Supply Co. bags. I'm sure it's everywhere, but it's based in Canada. Has a new line of Star Wars bags in varying sizes that are sure to excite fans worldwide. They based the line on Darth Vader, Boba Fett, and the classic Stormtrooper armor, so each one represents a feature of those characters. You can go get them on their official site now, or if you just want to check them out, also an excellent place to see the photos and an interview with John Warren, VP of Product Design, on why and how he designed these bags. If you want to buy more than just bags, then guess what? Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series is getting a couple of new additions. The extra deluxe line of Star Wars figures and memorabilia will soon include a new replica of a First Order Stormtrooper helmet and a 6-inch figure of Wrecker from the upcoming series Star Wars The Bad Batch. I believe we already had Scope, I think, the other two. So now you almost have a complete Bad Batch coming your way through figure form. The cinematic First Order Stormtrooper helmet will be adjustable and includes battery-operated electronic voice distortion, so you can sound and look like the troopers depicted in director Rian Johnson's Star Wars The Last Jedi. And the highly detailed 6-inch figure of Wrecker includes a fully articulated head and limbs and a variety of accessories, because it's an action figure, baby. And finally, you want some more toys? Well, guess what? On New Year's Day, LEGO debuted a ton of new sets for 2021, including the 4 in the Star Wars lineup. 3 additional sets have joined them with availability beginning today, March 1st. So when you're hearing it, it's already available. Below, you'll find, can you tell I cut and pasted this? You can see the sets included. The biggest of the 3 new Star Wars Lego sets is the number 75302 Imperial Shuttle, which is available to order here at lego.com for $69.99 US dollars. Includes 660 pieces, along with Darth Vader, Imperial Officer, and Luke Skywalker minifigures. The shuttle features 2 stud shooters and a cockpit that opens to accommodate 2 minifigs. And then they also have the AT versus Tauntaun Microfighter set, which is available on lego.com as well for $19.99. With 205 pieces with a stud shooting Luke Skywalker and an AT driver minifigure. And finally, the Resistant X-Wing, which is available on lego.com. Have I mentioned it? For $19.99, including 60 pieces with a Poe Dameron minifigure and a BB-8 Lego figure. Poe fits perfectly in the cockpit, with BB-8 goes along for the ride in the back. So those are out. If you need your Lego desires quenched, they can be ordered now on, I don't know if I mentioned it, lego.com. And this has been your Holo News.
Are you into the Legos?
I miss it. Like, I enjoyed getting Lego as a kid, and it's just fun to see what they've done. It's really evolved since we were kids.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's hard to find plain Lego anymore, but it's very intense.
And now you see like those like designer Lego. They're like not those like people that are designing their own cool like Lego art pieces, and it's just like, how do you get that many pieces of one color or something like that? I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, it's people are telling. I don't have the patience for Lego. I'm the guy who's like, I want that Ecto 1, but why can't you just give me the Ecto 1? I don't want to build it. I want the finished product. That's how I am. Lego Batman movie was great, but the Lego movie was phenomenal. Oh, is what I'll say. The Lego movie itself is it's great. All right, top 5.
Top 5. What's the top 5 today, Mr. James?
5 Darth Vader moments from the Star Wars movies. My number 5, when he tortures Leia in A New Hope. Yeah, that's his daughter.
Bro, he didn't even know, bro. He didn't even know.
That's his daughter, bro. Why would you do that?
You don't even know.
My top 5 is just top 5 Vader torturing people.
My number 5 isn't in the movies. It's in one of the best Darth Vader comics I have ever read. It was also the end of the series, and just left you on this cliffhanger where you don't remember the issue. It's Charles Soule's Darth Vader's like second run, where he like goes into like this fourth dimension, and it's kind of ambiguous that Palpatine impregnated Shmi Skywalker, and you're just like,
yes,
what? So it's just like, please continue the story. I'm pretty sure they stopped, and I was like, why?
Because everybody said, how can that be? And they're like, well, that didn't really happen. It's all in the mind. I have to say, if you haven't read, for everybody that likes Vader, if you haven't read Lords of the Sith, do yourself a favor and read that book. It's not in my top 5, but it is a fantastic story. Cham Syndulla is the protagonist and Vader and Palpatine, but Vader is phenomenal. He'll make you appreciate the prequel and original trilogy a lot more. My number 4 is when he fights Luke Skywalker in The Empire Strikes Back, and he reveals that he is his father. That is my number 4.
My number 4 is going to be his lightsaber battle with Ahsoka in season 2 of Rebels. It's just like, wow. It's like this character that hasn't been seen.
And he comes down on the tie.
Yeah, like it's just like everything about it is great. It's just like, this is what George Lucas has been wanting for years.
He's watching Rebels like, I hate Filoni.
Finally.
He did it, Filoni. He's like, I told him that in confidence. My number 3 is Vader versus Obi-Wan Kenobi on Mustafar in Revenge of the Sith. He's not in his Vader costume yet. He's Hayden Christensen.
It counts.
Yeah, it counts. He is called from this day forward.
He's got Darth Maul eyes at that point.
Yes, he does. He is a Sith Lord, and his name is Darth Vader when he has the epic lightsaber battle with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Mustafar. That is my number 3.
Mine is somewhat part of Obi-Wan and Vader. It's their lightsaber battle on the Death Star in A New Hope. Mostly, I just love the idea when he slays Obi-Wan and Obi-Wan becomes part of the Force. And the last thing you see him doing as they're taking off in the Millennium Falcon, he's just like kicking his clothes with his boot. He's like, where did he go?
But it is so powerful because to George Lucas's credit, it's also the way it's shot, where you have, and the music, John Williams music, but you have like that's going on and Luke is watching on, but Leia's also there, and Leia knows we don't know what her relationship is with Obi-Wan Kenobi. There's a lot of emotions going on in that scene, and then you have the Master and the Apprentice meeting for the first time in forever. Yeah, it's a phenomenal scene that did not make my list. I went with him torturing Leia instead. My number 2, Rogue One. That scene at the end of Rogue One.
Wow, that's not your number 1? Wow.
No, because when I tell you my number 1, you're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, that had to be your number 1. Otherwise, you're a hypocrite." So my number 1 is his the Rogue One entrance, because it is his greatest moment on film. But in my opinion, it's his second greatest moment in film.
My number 2 is when he's throwing Palpatine into the thing, and he's getting shocked by Force lightning. You could see his skeleton. Yes. Wow, so cool.
And they made a figure of that.
Yeah, they absolutely did.
Yes, they did. My number 1, you're all dying to hear it, and it is his entrance in A New Hope.
Yeah.
It was my number 1 Star Wars movie of all time. If it's not, it's weird. But I played with these two, but this is my favorite because it is one of the greatest movie entrances ever. He just comes in like a wrecking ball, and so that's my number 1. Whatever.
My number 1 is Rogue One, the lightsaber battle, like just trying to get the plans for the Death Star. He's relentless, and it's just like watching what he can do with a lightsaber in that movie is juxtaposition to what the battle, the duel between him and Obi-Wan and Death Star in the first movie. It's just like, wow, look how far we've come.
It's such a good. I think that's the part. Like Rogue One, I think it's a very enjoyable movie. And you get to that part, and you're like, that was fun, and then that happens. It's like, oh my gosh, we're going home and we're watching the original stuff. That's how I remember Erin. We got back from that movie. We were in our apartment at the time, and we get back, and she's like, "We need to watch Star Wars right now." I was like, "What? Yeah, put it on. I need to see." And it's just, and that was an editor's decision. Like an editor mentioned that or something like that, and the edit was like, "We need a Darth Vader hallway scene." Collaborating is. It works. All right, that's our top 5 Vader moments. Let us know what your top 5 Vader moments are in the comments below or in the live chat, or email us rebelscumbags@gmail.com. Whatever you want to do. Brock, this was fun.
It's always fun with you, James. Talking Star Wars.
Or sequels.
Or WandaVision.
Or WandaVision. White Vision, though, right?
Yeah, I was just like, fantastic. Because like when I started reading comics, I would read Avengers, and that was not this right time, but I was reading that stuff where it was like Vision all of a sudden is all white, and because he like gets torn apart. I should really look up. I can't remember why he gets destroyed, but he's like more like a robot at this point. So.
And you more than anybody I've ever met in my entire life, you like Vision more than anybody I've ever met. You're like a Vision purist. But yeah. And so before we go, Paul Bettany said there's a cameo coming up with an actor he's wanted to work with his entire life. Was he just talking about himself? Because that really makes me excited. I really am hoping, because that seems like a very Paul Bettany thing to say, because he's very cheeky.
Oh, you fool! You know who it is? It's Clint Howard.
Oh my god! Could you imagine? I guess he technically didn't work with Clint Howard on Solo.
Oh yeah, what is Clint Howard in that movie? Something.
It's the
right?
droid something. He does something with the droid wrestling gig.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is fantastic. I wish he got a Disney Plus spin-off show.
It's just...
It's just fantastic. All right, episode 205 of the Rebels Club podcast is coming to an end. Anything else you want to say, Brock?
No. Thank you for listening and wear your mask, you dirty boys.
It's coming. It's coming to an end. I feel it. I feel the COVID train is pulling into the station for one final stop, and we'll be back to normal any second now.
Yeah. I think you and I can get vaccinated in August or something like that.
Yep.
You fall under some other category.
I know some people that have been vaccinated. Yeah, they're all doing well, so that's pretty good. Hopefully, whatever. We're in March. I can't believe it's already March.
Damn smart weather.
All right. He's Brock, I'm James, and he was always Scum.
Rebel Scum.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.